Hola mi gente, my name is Psycho, and yes, I am here live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Um, Pretty much, Twitter has a notification that we're live. Um, I'm not sure Instagram has it yet as far as this, so I'm testing it out. We're gonna be talking about WarGames recap of what happened this past WarGames. But this is also a new test that I decided to try. Now live streaming straight to Facebook. So now you guys can actually see everything that's been going on YouTube and Twitch with the new cool layouts and designs and overlays that we're trying to do. Just so that way you guys can stay interested in the stuff that we have for you guys. So on Facebook, I have Christian who says, "Hey," but it's not coming up on my program here on my comments. So I got to figure out how to link that later. As far as trying to get everybody that comments on Facebook to come up on the actual chat feed here, which I think is actually here. If you're watching this, it should be around right here. Um, but everybody that usually comments on YouTube and Twitch will pop up right here, and I can read your live comments on our broadcast. So let's get to it. We're gonna talk about the time that War Games actually started. Now, whenever we got to talking about when we got there, we told everybody game starts at 9. I know there was a little bit of miscommunication between uh, Dom saying that games start at 10, but gates open up at 9. Actually, if you guys ever been to any of my milsims for AR-15 milsim, we've always kind of kicked off 30 minutes prior to the time that we actually said um, that was on the schedule. So if you guys didn't get that schedule, it's probably because you guys didn't see it on Facebook. I don't think we really much promoted it on Instagram, but it was on our webpage as well. But it was pretty much we try to put it everywhere. So I'm gonna try to go back and forth between the comments on Facebook and what's going on live on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, guys. So just bear with me, and I'll try to get back with you guys. So we got Jay Gonzalez. He was at War Games too. Um, so for the most part, guys, I really wanted to touch on a lot of topics. I know a lot of people are asking about the pictures that we took. Um, that's one thing that we do fail at is actually capturing the moment. So we're trying to get better at capturing the moment as it's going on. Um, Unlike you know just different organizations that hire their professional photographers and stuff like that. We try to do everything in house. Um, and we kind of want to use our raw footage versus somebody else's stuff because everybody's perspective is kind of different. And sometimes we like to overlook a lot of the information before it gets broadcasted out. Maybe we caught a bad angle, or maybe we just caught something entirely different that we want to portray out there. And we want to catch every awesome moment for you guys to where you guys can look back at it and be like, dude, I'm gonna be there for the next one for sure. So let's get to it, guys. So War Games, this War Games actually kicked off at 9:30. Um, Now, according to Cycle's schedule, I really, really wanted to kick it off at 9. This being our first War Games with the new design that we rolled out. Um, so, with the new design that we rolled out, I'm trying to get as much, footwork for you guys. That way, you guys, not there at 9, and then first game starts at 10, and then, the next group starts at 11 or 12. We're trying to get this ball rolling to where if you show up at any given time, that you guys can roll in with the crowd. And I'll get into that here in a minute. So we got Ghoster. What's up, man? Hey, man, we missed you over at War Games. I know the Texas Partisans really would have benefited with you out there. We actually had team. I'll talk about all the teams and stuff here in a minute. Let me get back to my my topics that I try to do my footnotes to where I can stay on topic and not get carried away with the everything else that's going on. So what's up, Ghoster? We miss you out there, man. Definitely would love to have to seeing you on the side that needed it. So let's get to it. So the time again, guys, for the next War Games. Let me just go ahead and give you guys that date. The date will not be on the last Sunday of the month, and you guys are hearing it first officially here. We're actually going to be doing War Games on May the 19th, which is the second to the last Sunday. Why? Because that's actually the weekend of Memorial Day. And the weekend of Memorial Day is when a lot of people like to travel. They like to go back and give honor to those that have given the ultimate sacrifice to the country. So that's something that we hold dearly in our heart as well. And we definitely want to give respects to that, to where people can still go to war games and still be able to go out to town and visit their lost lost loved ones from military history in the past. So we'll take that time as well to be able to do that. So he says, yeah, I usually go at 9 and expect games as 10. So that's one of the topics I want to talk about. But also, sorry I couldn't make it, but I will for sure go to the next War Games. Awesome. All right, so going back to why we decided to move it up to the 19th, well, that's one of the biggest reasons as well. Um, Also, we want to be able to give you guys the full attention, especially with the new design. We want to be able to give you guys the full attention to where you guys are actually getting the admin, the push, the flow of the new war games, to where you don't have one person trying to do it all, and or two people trying to do it, and it's just not what the new war games was supposed to be. So we definitely want to be able to give that attention to you guys, to where it flows. This one was really awesome. We kicked it off. Thank you guys, all the people that participated. I really, really appreciate it. For those of you guys that showed up and just shot at people, hey, you know what? We needed people to do that too. So either way, it still ended up working out. A lot of the testing got pushed through, and we were able to tweak and fine tune a lot of stuff as far as being able to capture, the QR codes and stuff. So going back to the times, guys. Again, if you guys want to be on time at 9 a.m. in the morning, 0900, you guys need to be ready. So War Games. Let's go back to what War Games is designed. War Games is going to be your in between, your scrimmage games, and your milsim ops. This is gonna be your chance to be able to tweak and fine tune all your gear, your guns, your ability to lead as a leader. Your This is your ultimate all inclusive milsim on a much smaller scale. When I say smaller scale, doesn't mean that's the amount of people we are. My goal is to reach at least 400 players on the field at Battlegrounds. That's my ultimate goal as Psycho for AR-15, to get that many people. Why? Because it's only $15, and you can afford to make the mistakes at War Games. And I'm gonna go over a lot of the mistakes that a lot of our players were doing, but I also want to lead it off with a lot of positive stuff as well. So, number one, being ready to go. When I say being ready to go, means your gun's ready. When you come up to chrono, you need to have your mag in. Not your mag in, but you need to have your mag ready, either with empty, because then at chrono we can put in our own BBs and we can test out exactly what is it that you need. Make sure your battery's plugged in, and you're ready for chrono, and bring all the weapons that you're going to be using. Now, at full size mil sims, it's the same thing that they're going to be expecting as well. So, you know, again, the faster you guys get through it, the easier it is to push out onto the field. So we did really well on being able to transition. I think I called a few times for, hey guys, go ahead and gather up before you guys actually did, which is okay because again, guys, it is the first War Games, and I want to say like we christened the new War Games this past Sunday. So the new War Games that we did, you guys again, You guys are used to getting there. You get your gear ready. It takes time. Checking in and all that stuff. It's changing. It's changing. So we're trying to, and that's why we're having it every month and not once a quarter, like our mill sims, to where you had that huge gap to forget a lot of these things. All right. So, Mickey Gallegos, I feel like I'm watching CNN. This is legit. Now, I'm not sure if it's frozen on Facebook. Hopefully not. I know on here it's actually, it looks like it's lagging on the other screen, but here I'm pretty smooth. So hopefully it's not. And if it is, I'm sorry, guys. Just go back to YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it's going clear and smooth. So if I can get some feedback on Facebook, that would be great to see if it's lagging. All right, going back to WarGames. So being able to have all your gear ready, I heard a lot of people by themselves say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to start planning ahead." And I'm like, "Why? Why didn't you do that before at the other WarGames?" I'm like, just because they always had that buffer zone to where they were able to prepare themselves at WarGames. This war games, it was boots on the ground as soon as you got there, and that's the way it is. And I collaborated with Scar, more specifically Raptor, for those of you guys that know who he is, and he was like, "Well, we need something to where it's like an ongoing battle, where you show up and it's like you get shipped out right into the battlefield, and you guys are going straight into the fight, and the fight never stops. It's an ongoing thing, and I think AMS is actually the ones who actually perfected that style of gameplay. So we're trying to incorporate that, but also with a smaller break. The reason we decided to do breaks is because you know what? Again, this is not your full-scale milsim. So we do want to be able to collaborate with the players and let them know, hey, this is how you're doing, and this is how you're progressing. This is where you need to fix yourself if you need to be fixed. We can also address a lot of the issues of guns going down, drinking hot water, hydrating. Just that quick reminder, taking you out of character, so that way you guys can actually realize like, okay, whew, let me take a breather. So that's why we did our 1 hour break, and I'm gonna go over the schedule of how it went. All right, or how it's supposed to be going. All right, so here I got from 9 to 10. So from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 900 to 1000 if you want to be all specific. There you go. All right, so we went ahead and did sector phase 1. Now our phases is going to be our time blocks, which are also our sectors decided predetermined to where if we get set amount of players, cool, then we can house you guys in this certain area on the map. Now I wish I can show you guys. I've been working really hard trying to get it to be able to display on the screen right now, and I didn't get to do it, but I didn't want to take too much of your time and show up late with my live stream. So definitely want to be able to give you guys this information because again, WarGames was hot. It was on fire. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. The way the people were fighting. I got shot. There's the proof. As an admin, everybody has been an admin, whether you're AMS, TCA, Overwatch, Tactics, anybody who's ever been an admin for any type of games here at AR-15 Milsim, or even the admins up there at the indoor field. You guys do not get the credit you deserve. It takes a lot to be in the middle of the firefight and to be able to, distinguish a lot of the fire. When I mean fire, it means like a lot of the hot-headedness of like, oh man, I caught you. No, you did it. Keep shooting me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And to be able to, distinguish a lot of that steam and be like, hey man, you know what? It's okay. You're missing. Or you know what? You're in the wrong. Let me fix you. So that way you can continue to be happy and continue to fight. And we gotta stay hydrated. We gotta set up the game as we're going along, and at the same time we get lit up. So I got full autoed. I was in a still good distance, and it was in between me and this bush. I was trying to shield leapers from getting blasted, because here I see everyone in the green team surrounding leapers, and it ended up being green on green for a little bit. Where they're in an intense firefight. They saw my green pants and they were like, "Pow!" And I was just like, "Oh, I got a red shirt on for a reason." It was really funny. Um, but at the same time, I mean, it's just that heat of the moment. You're just like, I'm an admin. So it was definitely awesome to. I just want to give credit to those to the admin. If you ever been an admin for any field for anything at all, you guys, you know, not saying that this is my first time because it ain't my first time, but this past weekend was definitely a wake up call to say, you guys need to give these guys a break. I know, especially at the indoor field, a lot of my guys, they get a lot of heat from the players, like, oh, you don't let us do this. Well, it's because there's so many people that have done, the things that led up to why you cannot do this for a reason. So give my guys a break. Give all the admin a break. I know sometimes it may feel like it's one-sided, or it may feel like they're not listening to you. But trust me, everything's being brought up to our attention to where you guys can actually get the best of the experience that you're paying for. All right. So now going back to our subject, not so much on the admin. But I mean, just everybody that was involved. Greg helped me out with the design, with the QR codes, designing the program in order for us to be able to count the points and stuff like that, to where we can be able to tally up who the top kill leaders were, who was actually participating, who was not participating. And there was a fair amount of people that just showed up without a phone, and it's a given scare that you don't want to get your phone shot. And I'm gonna go over that here in a minute. So going back to our phases, okay, guys? So our first phase was Sector 5. And now, if you guys actually did use the map, you guys understood exactly where that was. So when you guys got deployed, you guys actually got deployed right off. So we had two staging areas. We had our first staging area which is our original Eagle's Nest. Whenever we did our mill sims, is right there where the tents were with the picnic tables. Everybody would park right there, and then we would either shuttle you guys off to the new location, drop you guys off, and drop off the other faction, and then you guys would commence fighting. Well, this time we wanted to do a little bit different. So we had a different staging area besides that one. That was your check-in staging area. Then we had a different staging area, and it's really more like a like your fob. There was no picnic tables in that area. It's just your cars, and it says no shooting zone. Um, and it's along the fence line further down the road. I know a lot of people were scared of getting flats in their tires. We drive up and down that same road all the time, so it's all flat, and there's not a lot of thorns that come out and stuff like that, like the mesquite thorns. I know what he's talking about. But those are the mesquite thorns that are out in the actual playing field. Um, Here there was all grass that we pretty much all the big trucks smash the grass anyway, so it's just soft cushion for your tires. So you're able to drive up and then stage right almost in front of Sector 5 against the fence line. So a lot of the people did stage right there. Now, if you're one of the guys that showed up and were already in the fight, I was actually in the fighting zone, the battle area, and you know, we had a group of people that showed up that got checked in, drove over to that point, and stayed there. Okay, guys. So for the next war games, when this happens, for the time being, what I need you guys to do is, I got a message from Lydia, so may need to tell her that I am live because I forgot to tell her. So let me tell her real quick. Oh, hopefully that went through. Okay, guys. So when you guys get that, nope, I think I got something else. All right, guys. So when you guys get there, I need you guys to go over uh to a respawn point. And if you guys don't understand, and she keeps talking to me, hold on, guys, real quick. Hey, you're live. Yep, you're on camera. All right, guys. So when you guys get to that stage, the secondary staging area, you guys need to have your iPro on. Why? Because BBs are flying in the battle zone. Not saying that BB is gonna come out and hit you, but you never know. You're in the combat zone, so you need to have your iPro on when you get off. Not only that, but you need to be ready. Not saying that you're gonna be an actual fighter as soon as you get off your car, but you need to be ready. You're not sitting there camping out. You need to get back in. You need to get into the fight. If you're gonna camp out, you need to go back to the first staging area. All right, Mr. Nightmare. We're trying to stay in topic about the war games, not the indoor field. We can make another video separate for that, so we can stay on topic, please. Appreciate that so much. Much love. Um, real quick, so going back to the staging area, guys. So when you guys get off the vehicle again, get ready to go into the fight. Look for a respawn barrel, and as soon as you spawn into the game, you're in combat. There's no buffer zone after the respawn barrel. So when you respawn, you need to go in and get ready to fight, because you know I know Raptor and Viper went in and they didn't know. Yeah, no problems, man. No problems. Again, that's the problem with live. Sometimes we stray away, and then from a 20-minute video, we end up being an hour and a half deep trying to hit everybody's comments. So it's okay. I see your concerns. I'll continue to write down what you feel, and then I'll address that in a separate video. Um, so all in all, like I said, so Raptor and Viper were already in the fight, so they don't know how many players are coming onto the battlefield. So let's say they're already into a gunfight, they're already in a firefight with somebody else. Another whole faction could have came up from behind if they would have respawned in one of the barrels using the app. It's not an app. If they were using the phone, the Google map that we actually planted out there for you guys, if you guys would have scanned, you guys would have been able to see all your respawn points that you would have. Obviously, you're not going to respawn, deep in the woods. You're going to respawn along the road. There's 2 respawn points that you could have respawned at any given time, and then move in from 2 different angles, and you could always get pinched, and which did happen in the first phase. The first phase, there was multiple fights going on, and honestly, for the first hour and a half, Dom knew how many people were there because he's keeping tally and he's separating the groups and he's pushing them out, to where I'm at. And I'm seeing another group of players coming in. I'm like, all right, cool, come on in, guys. And I'm watching the fights and I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe it's too heavy on one side, maybe it's not. I'll radio back to Dom, tell him, hey, man, you know what? You need to put some more people on this team, or you need to take, after this first round, we're going to swap over the players to this team, or team balances are very important. Again, it's not a mill sim to where, if you have your whole faction stacked, then, you guys are just going to overcome the entire op. And next thing you know, you paid $175 for a butt whooping from a faction that's completely stacked. So that's not what we're trying to do with WarGames. With WarGames, we're trying to create team balance to where you guys can actually have a good firefight, and it's going to be intense every minute of the game. Okay, so bear with us when it comes to team balancing. All right, guys. And hopefully we did a great way to do it. All right, again. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about the first phase. Um, So the first phase was supposed to end within an hour, and what that does, it gives us a chance to be able to gather everybody up, and we're looking at exactly who is in your team now. Because if you came in as a group, son, go over there, puppy. Thank you. So when you come in as a group, and you guys are actually in a faction, or you're in a team, and you're fighting together as a team, and you wanted to hook up with another team, well, you don't know if they're here or not unless you got a message, or unless they told you exactly what time they were going to be there. So what that first hour does, that hour break, gives you a chance to be able to get together, and then relaunch from a different sector or a different respawn point. Um, And then as the progression went on, we opened up a new sector, and because there was more players on the field, so we had to open up more ground. So when we opened up more sectors, it stretched out the fighting a different angle, and we actually got to fight on the opposite side of the field that we never really got to touch. Even in mill sims, when we were running mill sims out there, we never got to touch that acreage of land. When it came to Milson, because even at that, it was just hard to get to, and then a lot of it was footwork. So by having a second staging area, it actually it gave us an ability to push players to the actual uh, positions to fight in, to where it was fair for both sides. So the second phase ended up being like an hour and a half to, firefight, and then we broke up again. We had an hour lunch break, and then we had a 2 hour fight. That 2 hour fight really brought out uh, everything that you had, um, and that was between phases 2 and 3. So if you were there, you understand what I'm talking about. If you were there and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you didn't use the map. Very important for you guys to use the map, to that way you know what I'm talking about and you're not lost. One of the things I saw was people respawning um, in a different sector that was, or they were respawning when in their first starting point, where they could have respawned it, 15 feet away. If they would have used their map, they were able to see exactly where their another respawn point was. Um, So, again, guys, it's very important. We designed this to be able to go both ways, whether you showed up without a phone or whether you showed up with a phone. At least have one person with a phone in your group, so that way you guys can know where you're going and what's going on. Obviously, we want everybody to eventually use their phones, so that way you guys can actually see what's going on, and you're in the know and you know what's going on at all times. Whether you got a Fraggle mission, whether you got the next sector open, whether you're scanning for QR codes, so that way you guys can collect points throughout the week until the next WarGames. We're gonna release, you know, uh, skill sets. This guy collected these many points. How? He got these many kills. He got this many revives, and this is how many sectors he got total points. So we're gonna be doing that for you guys too, leading up to next war games. Hey, we want to keep the hype going. Um, Checking real quick with Facebook. Not sure if it's going still strong or it's still glitching. Either way, guys, if you guys are on Facebook and you're listening to me, go ahead and comment if it's glitching or it's smooth or it's not. I gotta figure out what's going on Facebook. For the guys that are commenting on YouTube, thank you so much for participating. Um, War Games is changed completely, guys. If those of you guys that understand what I'm talking about, you guys were there. You guys saw exactly what's going on. This is the new War Games. This is what we plan on doing this, and we want to make it big. Um, as far as your phones being shot, you're fighting. You're fighting another squad. You're fighting another team, and you have to kill the guys completely. Set up a perimeter. You have to use squad tactics. This forces you to use squad tactics. This forces you to use radio communication. I'm not going to tell you guys what frequencies. That's on you guys. I'm not going to tell you what channels. That's on you guys. Because again, this is a chance for you guys to tune all that stuff. To be able to say, you know what? I'm going to be your faction leader. I don't want to put somebody in charge that doesn't want to be in charge. I don't want to give a leadership position to somebody who doesn't deserve a leadership position. In war games, you're gonna find out who can lead and who cannot, and every month that it comes, you guys are gonna see that more and more. Son, you guys are gonna see that more and more, and you're guys gonna see like who wants to take that initiative to want to put in the effort to lead, whether it's a faction, whether it's a small group, And you know what? A good leader is a good follower as well. Um, so always keep that in mind. And anybody can be a leader. I want to name drop people that I saw there, that I saw leading. Um, and I want to name drop a lot of people that I saw just keep on fighting. You know, they were adapting it to the new game style, and being able to figure out like, oh snap, you know what, we're by ourselves, and the next thing you know it, and your whole faction starts showing up from the side. Um, After WarGames was done, we went out to eat. We were talking about, what got everybody tired. I think doing the original WarGames where everybody walked from Eagle's Nest out to the field. I think that gassed out a lot of the players. So relocating to a closer area, parking area would be a great idea. If you guys don't want to do that, that's okay too. You have that option to stay in the back where Eagle's Nest is. You're just gonna gas yourself out because when we're out there, we're not coming back. We're gonna brief out there. We're gonna relaunch you guys again from out there. Again, you get more gun time. You guys get a lot more fighting going on. So that's the whole idea behind this, is being able to get as much gun time as you guys can before it's time to go home. So uh, going back to the some of the things I saw that were kind of, uh, without trying to bash anybody in specific, dead rags. You gotta have a dead rag, guys. That's a number one thing. I know you guys hear it all the time. Where's your dead rag? Where's your dead rag? Oh, I'm getting overshot. Well, where's your dead rag? You pull out your dead rag. I don't know where it's at. I told Dom for the next war games we're gonna be carrying dead rags on us, and if you don't have a dead rag, I'm gonna charge you $1 and I'm gonna throw it at you. Cause there's mill sims out there that if you show up and you don't have a dead rag during an engagement, there's a high possibility they're gonna run you off the field with no refund. Now, $15 versus 175 to 145 to $80 to whatever it is that you're paying for that milsim, and you get ran off because you didn't have a dead rag, that right there is gonna hurt. What's going on at War Games? $1 because you either lost it or because you ended up getting into an intense firefight and you lost it. Okay, cool, that's fine. Go back, retrack it, pick it up. I'll toss you a dead rag real quick. So that way you guys can get back to respawn and then do all that stuff. When you guys got shot out there is no more of this. I'm gonna hold on to your leg real quick and I'm gonna count to 10 or 15, 20. None of that. That's done. Final. No more. If you don't have a tourniquet, if you don't have armbands, if you don't have any now a milsim tourniquet, not a real tourniquet where you're trying to cut off people's circulation. If you don't have a milsim tourniquet meant for airsoft, or you don't have the wraps, the dressing, the field dressing, or the armbands, um, you guys have to bleed out. You have to bleed out 2 minutes. Now, another thing that we did change was your respawn barrel. Now, before we used to say, okay, cool. If it's contested, you cannot respawn there. You have to move to another one. No, now you can. But don't be a knucklehead that hits it, gets shot, hits it again, gets shot because you have to bleed out. And if you want to do that for the next 6 minutes because you're a knucklehead and you know there's people around there and there's a guy who's picking you, go to a different respawn. Just walk, look at your map, go to a different respawn right there, come at them at a different angle. Obviously, they're camping that one respawn. At the same time, guys, don't be a butt and respawn that barrel. Again, it's war games. Next thing you know it, this evolution, cool, you're against them. Next evolution, we may swap you over to his team. So, team kills still count. Don't be that guy. We want everybody to come back. We want everybody to have a good time. So you don't want to push the limit on what you can get away with. All right. All in all, it was a very, very intense fight. The entire match. We went live a few times when we were out there. We did the drone thing with Dom. Dom did the drone thing with the where he was able to talk and actually record and stuff. We didn't want to give we didn't want to throw everything at you guys all at once. We wanted you guys to get familiarized with the QR codes, the scanning, being able to tell when you can scan and when you cannot. I saw a lot of guys also be like, I'm walking away, guys. Oh, you should have been faster. That was my 2 minutes. I'm gonna go respawn. We had a 2 minute respawn versus a 5 minute respawn because again, due to the numbers, we wanted to keep you guys in the action faster. Um, as the numbers grow, who knows? We may change it to 5 minutes. So you can match that milsim time. Again, guys, it just depends on the numbers. Um, War Games is it's ever growing experience, and again, the way I was describing it there was it's gonna be your milsim that you wish that you would have had in a much larger scale. And it's good because if that's the case, if you guys start doing that, then maybe AR-15 milsim will come back, or another Muslim organization will look at what's going on down here, and they may adapt a lot of what we're doing to their Muslims. So either way, guys, it's a win-win for everybody in the airsoft community because we're trying to grow the sport. We're trying to build new players. We're trying to give something more to the players that have been in the game for many, many years, and they want something more out of it. And I feel like we really hit a home run with this one. We scored a touchdown. We did everything that we could to make this happen, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So appreciate every shooter that showed up, whether you used the QR scan or whether you didn't. Um, you were still part of the experience. Um, for those of you guys that know what I'm talking about, again, thank you so much. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you just showed up and you shot people and you left, thank you for showing up either way because that's one more person that showed up and gave that story, that war story, to another player. Whether you shot them or whether they shot you, either way, it was really awesome. We had the National Shooting Complex across the street doing their tournament and stuff. It was awesome with their live fire shotgun. And then we had a CH1, a H1 flying right over us as well. I was a bit freaking out because we were using pyro to blow up the rounds to start them and then to end them. So it was really fun. But at the same time, I didn't want to accidentally hit uh, a Huey or a Blackhawk or anything like that. So it was really fun, guys. Thank you so much for the experience. That's all I got for now, guys. I got people messaging me on the side. I got a lot of other things I gotta get done. Also, if you guys didn't hear, we are doing War Games next month, May the 19th. So, quick recap. Be ready to fight when it comes to 9 a.m. Get your gear ready. Take a whole week if you have to prepare. Make sure your gun works. Don't be one of those guys that shows up and is like, "Oh, Psycho, can I use your gun?" It ain't gonna happen. Make sure your stuff is ready. All right, guys. If not, we have rentals. Um, if you have guns that work, use them. All right, guys. So much love from our family to yours. Live the game.